Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Um, Go to the website. Look at how you can support. I am a candidate for governor of Florida. My name is Rodney Glover. Recently, I wanted to discuss the recent Gator Alcatraz thing, and I wanted to talk about opinionated politics versus judgmental politics. In our structured, in the way we're structured, right? We we're a representative democracy. Citizen find someone that they want to represent them, they vote them in, they make those decisions. So whether you are for or against, the only action you get is at the voting booth. That's it. That's it. Everything else that happens is sometimes, a lot of the times, you just end up finding out later. You can track this stuff on the Florida.gov website, but how many citizens do that? It's 23 million. And even if you do track it, you get to be opinionated. Elected officials get to be judgmental. They get to put their opinion on a ballot that creates a judgment. That's why I want to talk about opinionated politics as opposed to judgmental politics. Opinions, protesting, those are all opinions. Judgment, sitting in those rooms, coming to order, creating a quorum, and deciding how we move forward. I talked to you guys about the $6.9 billion that the federal government decided to hold from public education. That's going to be us as well. And some of the things that they are saying is, hey, we need to go out there. We need to contact our school board, start going to these school board meetings, opinionated politics. While the members they get to, make a decision and make something happen. Judgment politics. It was the estimated annual cost of $450 million to create Gator Alcatraz. I estimated that the Florida population has about 23 million citizens. Per citizen cost for the $450 million, it cost us $19.57 per citizen annually. I went and looked it up. You can go off and do the math. The only thing that changes the math is if we change the number of estimated citizens that are in Florida. My estimated number was 23 million. Okay, so alternative calculations per Florida household, 2.5 people, that's $48.93 annually. Per Florida family of four, that's $78.28 annually. The daily cost per citizen is 0.054, about 54 cents per day. That's all the math breakdown. Rewind it if you need to hear it again. Okay, so we know that taxpayers, citizens paid the 450 million up front. No one asked us to do it. So Florida's taxpayers, we paid the initial full cost, right? So there you have it. Now, the problem is no one asked you. No one asked for your opinion. And the individuals that needed to make it happen just chose to do it. So they were able to just do it. So when you hear me say, hey, I'm a candidate for governor of Florida. My name's Rodney Glover, and I'm running for direct democracy, legislative authority for citizens. It is to recalibrate or change the structure in the system at which things like this happen. Now, if everyone in the state, if the majority of citizens in the state were for footing the bill for this $450 million happening, then that's exactly what we should have did. But there was no public referendum on using taxpayer funds for the immigration detention. This is just what wasn't asked. There was no direct citizen vote on the $450 million annual expenditure. The decision made by Governor DeSantis and state officials was without citizen input at all. Citizens discovered the cost after the facility was already built, so it was limited. So we had transparency issues. The cost estimates not widely publicized during the planning phase, limited public debate about the taxpayer funding, unclear timeline for federal reimbursement, the risk of cost overruns borne by federal taxpayers. So there was a statement that was made that the federal government is eventually going to pay the state back. I don't even know how that's going to get back in your pocket, because that's just something that we just don't know. So, this is just a perfect example of why legislative authority is important. Like I said, I always keep my notes written down for what I want to talk about when I'm not about to just go off on a rant, and I need to make sure that you are getting the data that I collected. Things that we could have used that for. Now we're talking, what could we have done with $450 million annually and each citizen having to pay $19.57? What we could have done with that money. And let me get to my section so I can tell you what we could have done with that money. All right, here we go. What $19.57 per citizen could fund instead? We could have funded education alternatives, school supplies for 39 students for 1 year, textbooks for 4 students for 1 year, technology, equipment for classrooms, infrastructure alternatives, road maintenance for several miles, bridge repairs and safety improvements, public transportation enhancements, healthcare alternatives, preventative healthcare screenings for multiple families, mental healthcare services expansion, emergency medical equipment, and then we have environmental protections, Everglade restoration projects, water quality monitoring and improvement projects, hurricane preparedness and response. There are other things that we could have considered if citizens were asked, but citizens are not asked. So when you hear me say again, I'm a candidate for governor of Florida, and my name is Rodney Glover. And if I tell you, if you go to my link tree, you will see a link that says petition. Download that petition, sign it, and take it to your supervisors of elections office. I want to take the opinionated politics and turn us all into the judgmental politics. I do appreciate your time, and I really hope that the information doesn't fall on deaf ears. It's really important. And like I said, politics is not entertainment. So it may be boring and it may sound drab, but I'm not going to dress it up, because what's happening right now isn't being dressed up. It's just happening. Thank you for your time, and you guys have a great evening.